This week on 3D Printed Soup, dice. Gotta know when to hold them and how to control them. Not like that. That's right after this. Hello fellow makers and welcome back to 3D Printed Soup. This week we are having a look at dice control. Now, back in the old days, you could have 2d6s and play Cluedo or Monopoly or any one of the dull, boring, monotonous games we had back in the 80s. But in modern games and with the popularity of D&D and Shadowrun and Cyberpunk and all the other fantastic board games, RPGs, all of which require dice, you're going to need a lot of them. I mean, we're talking basically, hey, roll 40 d6 to hit, or roll a dozen d10s. It's complicated and you end up with dice and counters everywhere. But with the invention of 3D printing, you can actually print a thing called a dice tower. I mean, yes, you could always buy these in the shops. You can get wooden ones, you can get clay ones, you can get all kinds of ones. But with 3D printing, you can get some really incredible ones straight in your own home and you can make them yourself and paint them. I had a dig around to try and find myself a couple of dice towers and I found a lovely one called the Observatory. Links in the description below. Fantastic maker. He's made this thing beautiful. And yeah, it's a spiral tower with a spiral staircase inside. You pour your dice in the top, they bounce around inside and pop out into the courtyard where they're nicely controlled and they all land in the same place and you've got no problems with dice spilling everywhere and arguing whether or not a d6 on a 6 on the floor counts. It doesn't, it's a dropped dice, get over it. But hey, so yep, we're going to print this dice tower out, give it a paint, and then chuck some dice down it and see how well it copes with modern day dice-based games. Before we do that, however, thank you to everyone who's liked and subscribed. We are coming up to about 1,040 subscribers. Fantastic, you guys are loved and welcome. If you haven't, hey, drag your cursor down, click the subscribe button and welcome to the dice tower, which is 3D printed soup. I'm not saying I'm going to throw you down the stairs until you land on the right numbers, but it's not out of the realms of possibility. So let's keep this safe and nice and click the subscribe button. Also, hey, click a thumbs up because, hey, it makes me happy and it'll make you happy too. Now, let's get on with the video and make ourselves a really cool Observatory HP Lovecraft inspired dice tower for controlling our D6s and D20s. Let's roll it. Okay, with the print finished, we're going to cover this with a nice bone colour. So we're going to spray it with an undercoat. Make sure you keep the room ventilated and wear a mask. Then we're going to cover the tower with Dark Angel contrast paint. It's a lovely dark green. We're going to go all over this thing. Makes lovely grungy stone, which I think can work out really nicely. Don't worry, we'll lighten it up later, but we're going to start off here with some nice dark undercoat over the slightly creamy bone coloured spray. Again, all the cracks and details, don't have any white showing by the end of it, although you can probably cover that up with other colours. Okay, we have got the bronze top here. I've done it with a nice bronze colour and I'm going over it with Adrax Earthshade. Now the base, I've sprayed a nice sort of shiny grey colour and then going over it with some black Templar contrast paint just to bring out the details. Getting all the cracks and crevices, although because it's been spray painted grey, it doesn't matter if you've missed a bit because it just looks like rock. Right, now I am going to dry brush this with a very light sort of minty green, and it really sort of brings up the undercoat. You can dull it down again if you like with a bit of a wash, maybe null oil or just some black and very much watered down. And finally a bit of Nylac oxide to make the brass and copper look like it's oxidized. And yeah, this should come out lovely. And finally, a nice blue for the lens, and I'll use some lens flare with some light blue. And with that complete, let's have a look at the finished model with a bit of a background and some moody music. Let's give this a look. Oh, and here it is in all its glory. Beautiful sort of H.P. Lovecraft inspired, almost sort of seven wonders of the ancient world Observatory. And yeah, this thing is chunky, it's heavy, it looks absolutely great. Bit of contrast paint and some dry brushing and it comes up lovely. And yeah, pop a dice in the top. And even when I'm holding it, comes out there, all nicely secured in the almost Castle Grayskull kind of teeth rocks there. Let's take a few. See what happens. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All through. Even though I'm holding it up, they all come out nicely. And what have I scored? I have got a 5, a 10, ooh, and a 1. Good, well, that's could have been a 0. Can you get 0 on D10? I don't think so. But hey, but yes. This thing is absolutely incredible. It's got a spiral staircase that goes down the length of it. It has got a nice little doorway there, and the teeth there, or the rocks there, keep it all under control and inside the mechanism. I also like the fact that it's got the big, awesome telescope on top, where basically sort of looking for like forbidden stars, or if you've seen Lost, it's like the observatory on that in that. Oh, there's a dated reference for you. Why did it end like that? Were they all dead? I don't know. But yes, this is a thing to behold. And yeah, it's nothing better than basically when you turn up to a dice game and plonk that on the table. Shows you mean business. Yes, I have bought my own machine of random dice rolls. Yeah, it's really cool. And just the hole on the top is big enough that you can just chuck a load down there. You could probably even get some kind of scoop and just pour dice down there to your heart's content, and they all pop out here. This is one of the bases for it. There's also another one with a much bigger rock formation underneath. Makes it a lot huger. I get the feeling that would have got in my way, but on the plus side, you can basically get more dice in there. So if you're playing a game like Warhammer 40k and you need to roll 20 or 30 d6s, it's got a much bigger draw on it. So basically, you can roll them down there and they all stay in the shelf. This can probably cope with maybe 4 or 5 D10s or half a dozen to 7 or 8 D6s. But enough of the geek nonsense. This is a fantastic thing to print. Links in the description below as always, and thanks so much to the guy who designed this. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And with the level of detail he's put on here with all the bricks, just one undercoat, one layer of base colour. I recommend contrast paint, but hey, you can use whatever you like. And then a dry brush at the top, and it comes up looking so beautiful and professional. So no matter what your level of skill is, you can still make this thing look absolutely lovely. Dry brushing is the best way to go. I love dry brushing. But hey, links in the description below for this fantastic thing. Hope you're all having a fantastic summer. It's very, very hot in the UK. It's like hitting 30 degrees at the moment. I know that's not hot compared to some places, but in the UK, where we've got 75 different names for rain, it is quite uncomfortable. And with my complexion, I am not enjoying it whatsoever. So I'm sitting here sweating my English arse off to make lovely videos for you. I hope you appreciate it, because I am going to die. Thanks for watching 3D Printed Soup. Stay happy, stay safe, keep rolling.